is thrown your way that's completely unexpected, and sit back and listen to this story. Chris and Robin Taylor are the parents of 2-year-old Oliver. Robin, when you got the news that you were with child, what was that feeling like inside of you? You gonna be a mom for the first time.
We were excited and not expecting everything was going smoothly. We saw the baby when he was super little, like 7 weeks, and then went and saw him again when he was like 20 weeks, and everything was going great. We were so excited. And
Chris, first time dad, you're all excited, but what goes through your mind as far as original fear?
Well, there was no real playbook. I'm somebody that likes to have things planned out, and I was just kind of thinking, holy, what am I supposed to do? My father and I had never really talked about being a dad.
Just before New Year's Day, 2020/2021, something happens. Can you take us through that day?
Yeah. So we just had a normal day. I was working. Chris was working. I was having some weird pains in my stomach, and for some reason I just got this overpowering need to go to the hospital, which is totally not like me. Chris got home and said, well, let's go to the hospital. There we found out that my blood pressure was dangerously high, so they transferred us to Maine Medical Center, where I was diagnosed with preeclampsia with severe features. We were told the next day that we were going to be in the hospital for 8 weeks, and then Ollie would be delivered at 34 weeks, which was scary for us in the first place. We were planning on having our baby at full term when he was ready to come out, and now they're telling us we're going to have a baby at 34 weeks.
Now, Robin, had you had any complications leading up to this day?
No, none at all.
What in your brain said, I need to go to the hospital?
I think it was just instinct. I would never have gone to the hospital if I wasn't pregnant.
How big was Ollie when he first made his appearance?
So Ollie was 1 pound and 14 ounces, which is a little less than a quarter milk. And he was 13 inches long, which is about 2'10" length. And we actually had, at a week old, we actually took a picture of him next to a box of Swedish fish, and him and the box are the same size.
And how did you settle on Oliver Charles Taylor?
We didn't. We just, when they came in and said, hey, you're going down to have a kid today.
Yeah.
We just kind of looked at each other, and we had both thought of Oliver in the very beginning, but other than one time, we had never talked about it.
Yeah, under pressure, you came up with a great name. But take us through the next 100 or so days and what your young family endured.
Yeah, so he spent 114 days in the NICU. He was on a ventilator to help him breathe for over a month. It was a very big roller coaster of his medical conditions and all of that. He still has chronic lung disease, prematurity, or bronchopulmonary dysplasia, which is just damage from being born so early, and scar tissue in his lungs. His lungs are improving every day as he grows and gets older, and we see the phenomenal staff at the outpatient clinics that help guide us with his medical conditions, and he is thriving.
I'm looking through the timeline of this, and one thing that jumps out at me is the fact that it happened at the height of COVID. So first-time parents going to the hospital. Can you speak about going to the hospital in this climate and having the staff of the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital comfort you and how they were able to help guide you through this situation?
Yeah, so at first it was, a horrible feeling because they were allowing the two of us to go, but we couldn't have our family. And that was really hard. Like I said earlier, being, first-time parents and everything, we were kind of at a loss, but the staff just, it's so hard to put into words how they were. We actually still keep in touch with some of the nurses that cared for Ollie.
They basically became the family that we couldn't have in the hospital.
Exactly. They would always write cute little notes on the board, especially the night nurses, because we would stay there all day with Ollie, and then we would go home at night or to the Ronald McDonald House to sleep.
And I love the hope in both of your voices, speaking with Chris and Robin Taylor, who are the parents of now 2-year-old Ollie Taylor. Can you tell us how he's doing today?
He's doing great. He is 14 times his birth weight. He's about 25 pounds. He's thriving, blonde hair, blue eyed, extremely flirtatious.
I love it. What is it like to love your child on a daily basis with the blessings that you have in your life today?
It just makes it that much more special. You know, when you get him up in the morning and you bring him downstairs and you just watch him play, and even though he's towing around an oxygen cord behind him, he doesn't stop. We take him. We have some neighbors that we're close with that have small children, and he goes and plays with them. And to just know what he's gone through in his life, to see how he's continuing to develop and be a normal 2-year-old, given everything he experienced.
All of this is possible just from the phenomenal care at Barbara Bush. It's scary to think what would have happened if they weren't there for us. We might not have Ollie here with us to watch him grow and do all of these fun things. And
Exactly.
1-800-352-6865. We might not have our child that we experience joy with on a daily basis. Maybe you got your kids up this morning, and there are days that they don't want to get up, and it's a pain.
Yeah.
And then there are the days where you just look into the room and you're like, that's a blessing. I can't believe that happened to me.
Yeah.
And
every day you have your child in your life really is a blessing, and listening to them share how grateful they are for the care that they were able to receive so Ollie can, thrive at now 2 years old is pretty darn amazing. And it's thanks to donation dollars from our community. And I'll tell you what, Andy, as we are just